Hello and welcome to another episode of Feeding Fatty. This is Roy.
This is Terry.
So we are the podcast, of course, we're chronicling our journey into wellness, and that includes many things, trying to clean up our eating habits, better exercise, better mental space, just a little bit of everything. And, as we spoke last time, we are having some internet difficulties that we will apologize first for that if the video is a little bit jumpy. We are working on getting that fixed, and we have actually had to push out some of our guest interviews until we get a little bit more stable internet. So hopefully we'll get some cable buried around here sooner rather than later and be back to it. But we're also trying to beef up these Thursday shorter posts kind of about what's going on with us. And today, I think we want to talk about meditation just a little bit.
Yeah, we have been incorporating meditation daily, at least twice a day, in the morning, first thing in the morning, and then in the evening, and all the different aspects that go along with it, keeping everything quiet, everything and every dog quiet, and playing music that helps us focus, and gratitude and journaling and all the things that go along with it.
Yeah, it's been a different. I mean, I guess I've just always been on the run, fast paced, and so it's kind of been different. It's a good thing. I think it's it has a very calming effect. We actually light the incense. We have the Asian I think this is a Reiki track, but it's it's got the Asian feel to it, and it's just awesome. I mean, we try to do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 at night, and some days are better than others. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I was better at it, but some days the mind is just running and scrambled, and you just have to kind of deal with it and do the best you can. I think the other thing, I try to follow up with journaling, either a little bit before, a little bit after, just in case things, come, because, every now and then you just kind of have a feeling or some words. Maybe it's just, reinforcement of words that you need to hear. We talked about that a little bit last week in the one about the Reiki, that, like in that one, strength, wisdom, patience came. But, I've in meditation, other words kind of seem to come up to the top. It feels like I really need to focus on that for that day.
Yeah, and I didn't, I've just kind of stayed away from it. It's kind of like the Reiki and the energy and all of the meditation. I've just kind of stayed away from it because I didn't know how to do it. I want to be a professional as soon as I start doing something. So, I looked into meditating, and I did a couple of self-guided meditation, Google apps or sites, and
Right.
everybody has a different what works for them, different time. Just practicing gratitude, saying repeating a mantra, and then reflecting on the day and the week, and once I started getting into the habit, just trying, doing the mantra and then being quiet for the rest of the time. That helps me, but I kind of feel like we need to do it more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, I said that.
We may need to expand that out. Yeah, and I just I guess that, like I said, well, first off, we are not doctors, and we're not professionals at really anything. Yeah, but we are just on a journey to I don't know if you could say find ourselves or find our better self, and trying to get our mind right about different things, and we feel like that healthier aspect of our our eating and exercise will kind of follow in that as well, trying to round it all up. But anyway, what I do is I just start with like 3 deep breaths, and just and I'm a Christian, so I speak to God or talk to God, and I think that's something that everybody if you have a higher power, then that's a good time to talk to it. If not, it's not necessarily, you can focus on your breathing. There's a lot of ways to do it. So, don't feel like it has to be associated with religion, but it is a good time if you do have that conviction. But anyway, you can go on the internet and find a lot of information, but I usually just start with 3 deep breaths and just, ask for an open mind to be receptive, to give me strength, for either for the day or, if there's things I know I need to work on that are top of mind. Sometimes it's patience, empathy, those kind of things. I just really ask. And it's funny because when we started this, I did, the picture of the people sitting cross-legged with their, hands like that. Yeah. I didn't really start that, and I don't sit cross-legged. I couldn't do that anyway. But I have started doing my hands that way because I feel like it's an opening. It's like in a receiving position to receive the message, to receive that energy that you get from it. So it's interesting, but, again, everybody has to find their own way and do what really works for them. But, I had tried meditation years ago, and back then, I think I was using some kind of an app, but it was basically just talking about, just concentrate on your breathing. Try to clear your mind of everything. But you can't totally do that. Stuff always creeps back, but you just have to reset and say, take those really deep breaths and let it go all the way down, and then breathe out and just kind of focus on that.
And blowing it all out too. That's a huge part of breathing. Some people just don't think about it that specifically as far as breathing goes, but breathing in through your nose and then blowing it all the way out through your mouth, all the way. I mean, every last bit of it until you take another breath. That's part of the Qigong. That I can't say it. When we talked to Joy and Yadi, when they were on about Eastern medicine, that I think is really important as far as meditating. And
and that's something that I've picked up from yoga before, is that how important breathing is to a lot of things, to our temperament and our physical health. I mean, when you start feeling yourself getting agitated, if you'll just take that deep breath, sometimes you can kind of ward it off and make yourself have time to think. This is a little off topic, but we're talking about something somewhere the other day. It was like, don't react, but respond, which is, it kind of resonated with me, because sometimes now if you take that deep breath, you can put up a delineation line between that initial reaction versus a response, where you can kind of gather yourself and think about it. So it's it's something to think about. It's a good practice, when you're in a stressful situation, I think.
I think that makes the whole difference between responding and reacting.
Yeah.
I mean, for me. And something else that I do that I didn't realize was sort of meditation. I don't know, breathing wise, is sigh. I sigh a lot, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It just means that, to me, it just means I'm kind of clearing out all the clutter from my head so I can concentrate on the work at hand,
Yeah, and I do that. Like, if I'm in the middle of a difficult spreadsheet or something, a tough formula, or trying to figure it out, I notice that with me. I'll be like, just let it out. But part of my problem is holding that in too, that, I tend to I tend to hold my breath when I get, not necessarily in a, not stress. It doesn't have to just be stress. I mean, it could just be something where you're thinking and concentrating really hard. So just remembering to take those breaths along the way. I've said this before, but I used to have a sign over my desk that said to breathe. And, people would kind of snicker and say, well, you have to tell yourself to breathe.
Isn't that automatic?
And it's like, well, no, not in certain situations. And I've been called out on this from, when I used to do some martial arts. My sensei, he'd walk by and, he'd pat me on the shoulder and say, it's okay to take a breath. And so that's when I first became kind of self-realization about that. And then, The other time was at went to those painting parties, where the lady's up at the front painting and you're kind
Yeah.
of following her. And, she walked by and said, "It's all right. You can breathe while you do this," because I was like so intent on getting it. And I was all, just holding my breath.
And did you turn into Michelangelo after she
And-
after she told you to breathe?
No. No.
I want a sensei.
Yeah. No, they're cool. They're cool.
We are looking for a sensei.
But yeah. Anyway, I think it's been interesting, and we've been doing it a couple weeks now, so we're still new at it, but I think we're growing. I feel like we're growing. It's become more second nature, and it's just something we start our day out with, and it's something we end. That's what I was going to say. Is the end of the day. I like the beginning of the day because it starts us out on the right step, but I like the end of the day too because it's a chance to just clear your mind of all the stuff that has happened during the day and basically just prepare yourself for sleep. And sometimes, for me anyway, if I just go straight from doing something to go try to lay down, everything is still swirling in my head, still thinking about this
Yeah.
and that. Whereas if I take that 10 minutes to do this meditation, it really puts me in a much more relaxed space to go lay down.
Well, and another thing that we do, I think we've already mentioned this, but we journal also, and we've
Right.
been journaling afterward. I've read a couple of articles that say to journal beforehand so you can meditate on it,
Yeah.
and then do it afterward
Yeah.
too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a little bit time before that we do the meditation and I journal some. I don't necessarily look at it, but it kind of reframes me of some stuff that I really want to give a lot deeper thought to. But
Okay.
anyway.
Okay.
All right. Well, unless you've got anything else, that was it. Just wanted to talk a little bit about meditation.
Yeah. Just that we try to do it the same time every day and in the evenings as well, and just kind of trying to keep a schedule about it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for listening. Of course, you can find us at www.feedingfatty.com. We're on all the major social media networks. Go over to the Facebook group. We'd love to start some discussions over there. Also on Instagram, and this will go up. The video of this will go up on YouTube once we release the episode. So you can find us anywhere. You can always reach out. Like I said, we'll be glad to answer any questions that we possibly can.
If we don't know, we'll find the answer.
Yeah, and we're not professionals, so sometimes we have to just refer people out and say, you need to seek a medical doctor or a dietitian, or get some advice from a professional for sure. But we can answer any simple questions for you. So anyway, until next time, that's going to do it for Roy.
I'm Terry. Goodbye.